Who knows the significance of these three numbers put together? 846.
Ah, yes.
Or 3 digits, I should say.
It is the exact time that Dave Chappelle was born.
Yes. And it's also the name of his new half-hour special that is now available for free on YouTube. So if you haven't seen it yet, highly recommend it.
And it's the amount of time that the officer had his knee on George Floyd's
Obviously, that's
neck.
the most important. Thank you, Tim.
Yeah.
That's the most important significance of these numbers. So yeah, like you said, that's the amount of time, 8 minutes and 46 seconds, that police officer had his knee on George Floyd's neck, causing him to die. He got murdered by this officer. And so Dave Chappelle released this new half-hour special where he pretty much gives his 2 cents on the whole thing. And has anyone seen it?
Yeah, I watched it all.
Watched it
Yeah.
immediately.
Yeah. What do you guys think of it?
I thought it was really good, and I really liked how he put it into perspective. Like, he first came out with his Northridge earthquake story, and so he was just talking about how the amount of panic he felt, and even when it was panic, he had to look for his keys, his wallet, his phone, and so it really, like, you know, when you're in panic mode, it really slows down. Like when you're like in a car accident, you know, you have the whole like ketchup packets in the air, and you have that feeling. So it really slowed it down for you. And then so when I was watching, I'm like, oh yeah, that's true. When you're in like this life or death situation, even 30 seconds seems long. And then when he cuts back to how the officer had his knee on his neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds, I'm like, oh shit, that's an eternity. And then that also made me think, wait, because I think when you're watching it, there's just so much shit going on. Unless you're watching it like 10 times, it's really hard to analyze everything that's happening.
Watch what?
When George Floyd was on the ground. So I'm just having like my initial primal response, right? And I'm like, oh man, this shit fucking sucks, and I turn it off, and I don't watch it over and over again.
Yeah.
But when he was breaking it down, and then now it got me thinking about how I watched it before, and I'm like, when you arrest someone, it's like, and they're already in handcuffs, usually, 'cause I've been arrested many times, they put you and they just sit you back up. So he was already in restraints, and for some reason that guy's knee was still on his neck the whole time for another 8 minutes, and I'm like, damn, that's fucking crazy. Because I think they said after they checked his, after they checked his pulse, or no, after they apprehended him, that took 2 minutes to do, and then it was still another 6 minute 40 seconds where his knee was on his neck. So maybe 2 minutes would have been justified because they're trying to detain him. But the extra time, I'm like, man, that's fucking crazy.
Well, there's a video of another angle of George Floyd, quote unquote, resisting arrest. He's already handcuffed. They're just trying to put him in the car. He's not getting in the car. That's it. That's what makes them go, let's put him on the ground, put our knee on his neck for 8 minutes, 46 seconds. It's crazy.
Yeah, Dave has always had a really good way of putting things into perspective. Like, even if you weren't on his side before or thinking about it that way, he makes you go, oh shit. You know, because you watch a video like that, you maybe see like a minute of it on Instagram, and the way he was just able to slow it down, like, man, I was panicking for a minute during that earthquake. I was still fucking, felt like forever. Imagine 8 minutes and 46 seconds fearing for your life.
And how he talks about how when his father, I think it was, called out for his grandmother, like Dave's father called out for his grandmother, that he was like, that's how he knew, like, George, like the only other time he had ever seen that was, you know, with George, how he was calling out for his mom, so he had already known, like, his end was coming, and like that was really powerful.
Yeah, because he was saying during those 30 seconds of the earthquake, he wanted to scream, but he didn't want his last moments to be in that much panic. But he was like, imagine the whole 8 minutes and you're like screaming out for your mother who has already passed away, like knowing that that's who you're calling out for.
Oh, fuck.
It was funny too, because like, you know, everyone was there for like a Dave Chappelle special, and you could tell it was like tense though, right? They're kind of like, oh man, how's this gonna go? And like Dave wasn't really telling jokes, but even when he threw out the occasional joke, people were kind of scared to laugh. Like some of the shit he said would have killed, but like the audience was still really tense. Like at one point, he addresses Karens without saying Karen, but he's like, and white bitches, can y'all just shut the fuck up? Please, and everyone's like, are we allowed to laugh at this? Yeah, all the white ladies like,
I looked at the venue and I'm like, I would just get lit the fuck up by mosquitoes if I was watching this show.
That's what I was thinking too. Yeah.
No, and then how he, the other thing that that stood out to me, that it was like, wait, do we laugh or do we not?
Yeah,
It's
it was
when
a lot
he
of that.
There was a lot, but then it was when he was talking about Candace Owens, and if he ever gets to smell her pussy, he'll let you know, just like Azealia.
Oh my
And I was
God.
like, wait, did you confirm?
I know, he's like, I'm gonna tell like Azalea Banks, I'm gonna tell.
And I was like, wait, is that, so she was telling the truth?
He did not deny.
Yeah. I don't know.
One of my favorite parts was when he was talking about how he was like, you know, when these things happen, everyone's asking a celebrity, what do you think? What do you think? And then he's like, the streets have spoken. Like, why do you need influencers, celebrities, people on Instagram to further state things? Like, people already out in the streets have spoken. And I thought that was really, really powerful because I noticed, I've heard a lot of people say like their following was demanding for people to post a black box or demanding them to do something. And then it's like, what's the point of that? And I think Dave Chappelle did a really good job of addressing it, where it's like, right now there's like some really serious issues. And if you personally believe this is wrong, you personally just go take action and go do it. Don't go, well, what is this person gonna think? Because then you're already diverting your own efforts, which I thought was pretty tight.
Yeah, when he was bringing up Don Lemon, when he was like calling out every celebrity, and then Chappelle was like, say my name, motherfucker. I hope you say my name. Because then for Dave, he was like, you know, I've been talking about this. Like, all of my content has been around this.
It is.
So he's like, now was the time for me to like take, like, just like how he opened it, where he said like the youth is driving this just fine. Like I'm perfectly fine being in the back seat, because he's like, I've done whatever I could. Now the voices that need to be heard, now it's their time to be heard. So why am I gonna step in and be like, no, you still have to listen to me though. Like, I understood what he was saying. So
That's the part that's really sad. Right after that, at night, we're like, oh, let's watch some Dave Chappelle. And we watched one of his old stand-ups, Killing Me Softly. That's the one where he talks about there's the baby in the hood.
Yeah.
Or he talks about where cops go into his house looking for the bad guy. And he goes, oh, he's still here. And hits him with the microphone because they don't believe that Dave Chappelle owns the mansion. And half of the set, it's still about police brutality. And I'm like, damn, this fool's been fucking preaching about this shit for 10, 15, 20 years and nothing has changed.
But a lot of people calling Dave Chappelle out or whatever, they never watched it.
Right.
Like, they don't know that. They know he did Chappelle's Show Prince sketches.
Right.
Honestly.
those are the type of people that they're not even actually looking at what a person's doing, and they're just pinpointing like, oh, but you didn't do this. Like, it was in front of my face for you to shut me up before I said this.
Yeah, it's just people that want to, like, instead of taking action, they just want to be more right or more woke. That's why, like, online, I was trying to get annoyed. More people were just arguing with each other on the same side
Yeah.
and then trying to, like, push
Go
for
do
the cause.
something.
Right.
Yeah, and I was just like, why would you spend more of your efforts just, and it's like, one, they either fight each other or only talk to each other. Like, people that are already on their side. I'm like, if you want to make a change, try to convince other people.
Dude, exactly. Everyone's fighting for the mic, and then they're all saying the same thing into it.
Yeah.
They're not reaching people like that way.
So it's not going to change if you're just constantly talking to the same people.
People just like to hear themselves talk, man. That's what it is. They want to show off that they're smart. They want to use big ass words that just lead to nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes I look at two like woke ass people arguing on Twitter, and I'm like, I don't even know what you guys are saying right now. I'm not like, I didn't go to enough college classes for this discussion. You know?
And it's hard for me not to see sincerity and complete insincerity in my timeline right now. Like, I see sincerity and I believe that, and then I see
Yeah.
some fucking whack shit that's like, I'm like, you don't think this way. Like, you're not this person. You're doing this for yourself.
Yeah.
Candace Owens replied.
she did?
She was like, everyone sending me clips of Dave Chappelle insulting me from his special, I'm honored. she's like, I'm not one of those people that thinks comedians shouldn't make fun of people. She's like, comedians should make fun of people, and like, look at the power. He said my name. I'm honored. And then she goes, she's like, Dave Chappelle, I'd love to link up and talk about it if you want to say it to my face. And she put a little laugh emoji. All love.
Nice.
That's a good way of taking it.
I wish she also said she has a clean pussy.
Yeah, that would have been nice. Oh, that would have been, wow.
What is it, Candace?
I'll have you know, I have quite a clean pussy. On most days.
That would have been fucking great.
Maybe that means she doesn't.
Yeah, that's true. She confirmed it.
Yeah,
Just like Azalea, she confirmed it.
Wait, what's the whole Azalea thing? I don't know.
Oh, because Azealia Banks, are you familiar with Azealia Banks?
No.
She's a rapper, singer, musician. She's, long story short, she gets into a lot of like tiffs.
She's pretty much only in the news because she's causing drama.
Got it.
Yeah, so she came out a few weeks ago and was like, you know what, I should ruin a lot of these
Married men.
Yeah, and she's
Powerful
like,
married men.
and she's like, Dave Chappelle, you know, we fucked. He got good dick, blah blah blah, and then everyone was like, "Oh shit!"
She was complimenting him while trying to insult him at the same time.
And pretty much saying like I should ruin your marriage.
Yeah.
Like, I really should.
But all she talked about is how sick his dick is and like how good it was, and it was great.
Maybe that's why he didn't want to deny it. He was like, well, she made me sound good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he dressed with one line. That still kind of has you going. So did they fuck or not?
Joke, though. That is the joke, which is great.
So good. He's so good, man.
Fucking good, man.
He doesn't give a fuck.
He's my hero. I disagree with what a lot of what Candace Owens has to say, but I still really like that she's out there and being outspoken because she does have very going against the grain beliefs.
But is it at this point? Is it like, oh, let me make some headlines, let me stir up some shit, but not even be genuine about it?
So like her intentions, I don't know. I don't know what her intentions are, and I think that's the part where Dave Chappelle says like she's like a money-hungry idiot or whatever, because she is also one of the people that's trying to grab for headlines.
Yeah.
I understand that.
white girl too, Tommy Lahren.
Can we learn?
Yeah, her.
So she, I mean, I don't know what her intentions are, but her position has been like this for years. And so I like that because it gets people thinking. And so I have come across some of her videos where maybe I disagree with majority of it, but there's a couple of really good points that helps people think more about the situation. Because like what Nadim was saying, people, they keep fighting over on the same side, but if you don't have new perspectives, you're not gonna have new ideas to have new solutions. So it's just two people circle jerking. The situation's bad, yeah, it's bad, oh, it's so bad. But what are the solutions? And so for her to go, well, what about this? I do respect that there is someone like her out there saying stuff too.
I do, but I think she has terrible points about the George Floyd thing. Like, hey, George Floyd did some bad shit, so therefore he could get when he got executed in the middle of broad daylight. Like it's okay. Or I don't think she's saying it's okay, but she's like, we shouldn't make him a hero for it.
Yeah.
But I'm like, man.
See, that's like also like diverting your attention to something that it doesn't matter. Like, what's the bigger fucking problem here, Candace? Focus on that.
It seems like she's like for the Republicans, like, look, we have a black friend.
No.
Like sometimes I feel like when she does like talk, like obviously I feel like everyone on both sides always has good points, and there's no one that like just because they're on one side they only have bad points. But a lot of the time she's like, the stuff I see is like, how can a system be racist if I made it? You know? I'm like, people like they have different, like you grew up different. There's all these different things, and not saying people from like the hood can't make it, but just like your life doesn't mean that the whole system's fine.
Yeah, and like Bart said, it's an ulterior perspective. Morgan Freeman said the same thing on CNN to Don Lemon years ago. He was like, we both made it. That's good. That's progress and all that stuff. And I don't even think he's saying the system is not racist in a way. He was just saying like you can make it, like which is good.
Because I think like, you know, with the whole George Floyd thing, it's one incident, right? But then there's mic grabbers on all sides. So you have Candace trying to grab the mic and use it for her agenda. There's people grabbing that mic, using it for their agenda. And because there's always gonna be an agenda, I like being able to hear multiple people talk about things so you can get a better scope of what the hell's happening.
Yeah.
And I just want to be able to hear them. I don't want people shouting them down so that I can't hear what they have to say. And then I'll decide if they're stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's a good chunk of the conversation here where it's like a lot of people are swinging way hard the other way, where it's like you can't even get any sort of conversation started because now all of a sudden if I agree with what Steve is saying, just because he's white, I'm seeking for white approval, where it's like, no, you're just being as racist as what you're fighting. Like, it makes no sense.
It is good to get white approval though.
I think so too. I love white approval.
I mean, we all want an Academy Award one day.